So anyway, moving on. It's just like everything that I covered in my last talk show has been updated in some way, either with this Coming to America trailer or this Leah Remini slamming Tom Cruise for his COVID-19 outburst. Several celebrities and observers came to Tom Cruise's defense this week after leaked audio captured the actor castigating crew members for breaking COVID-19 safety protocols on the set of Mission Impossible 7. However, Leah Remini criticized Cruise in a lengthy statement published Wednesday, claiming his outburst was a publicity stunt and calling him an abusive person. Tom's reaction shows his true personality, Remini wrote in a statement published on an anti-Scientology blog, The Underground Bunker. He is an abusive person. I witnessed it. I've been a recipient of it on a small level, and I've been told of similar abuse by his former girlfriend, his employees, and his friends. This is the real Tom. Tom does not care about the families of his crew. This is all for publicity, Remini continued. I would bet that Tom had this rat written for him and had his Scientology assistant had his Scientology assistant record and release it. Hearing a rich actor with enormous power address his crew in this way is a sign of weakness and a deeply troubled person. I totally disagree with what she's saying. First of all, there is no way that Tom Cruise released something negative about himself. If you know anything about Tom Cruise, his whole persona is 100% positive. He would never knowingly release something like this to put him in a bad light. Secondly, and I should have brought this out when I covered this last week, this was obviously not the first time he had discussed this issue with his crew. If you go back and listen to what he's saying to everybody, he pretty much, his patience had been tried up to that point, as happens with anybody. You see somebody repeatedly do something and you're nice about it the first dozen times, and then they do it again, and then you just blow up. I think that's what happened. That's what it seemed like to me listening to that recording. So I don't think it's some kind of situation where he's being abusive, and this is just indicative of who he is as a person on set. And from what I've heard from a lot of people, even people who didn't have a good experience with him. Give you an example. Oh God, I'm so bad with names. There was a woman. What's her name? She was on Mission Impossible 2. She was talking about how Tom Cruise was pretty much under pressure on that movie, and even though he was under a lot of pressure because he's producer on these movies, so a lot of times the success of these movies are on his shoulder. But I remember her saying in this interview that even though he was upset with her performance a couple of times, Thande Newton, that's her name, even though he was kind of upset with her, he was still really nice about it. So I just don't believe that he's this abusive person. That I know Leah Remini, she's really down on Scientology because she was in it for so many years, and she feels like she got conned. And they of course they always go after people that leave their church. I understand why she feels the need to come out against them, but I just don't believe some of the stuff she's saying. It doesn't make sense from what I know about Tom Cruise. And it just feels like he was in the right as a producer. And I probably should have made this point better last time. But as a producer, he's pretty much, I compared him to a manager at Starbucks. He's not a manager at Starbucks. If you use that analogy, he's more like the owner of a Starbucks getting upset. A manager will probably be fired for an outburst like that. Maybe, possibly. I've had managers yell at me when I had lesser jobs. So it's not out of the realm of possibility, but an owner definitely can lose his temper like that. And there's nothing you can do about it. because he owns the business. And that's essentially what Tom Cruise, where he is in the hierarchy. So yeah, I just don't. I'm not believing what Leah Remini is saying here. It's nah. Once again, I support everything he said during that little rant.